So, Robert Aspirin, Dragon's Wild, is one of my favorite books. If you haven't noticed, I tend to have a lot of favorite books. I'm a really enthusiastic person. I don't know if it comes off on here, but I love a lot of stuff. And I love this series. It's a 4-book series, and it's great. It does have one of my most hated cliches in it, but it's easy to overlook since it's not like a main focus of the story. And that's orphans, the main characters, Griffin and Valerie. His parents are dead. So, let's talk about Dragon's Wild. It is a book about a young man named Griffin McCandles who is a dragon. He discovers he's a dragon right after he graduates college. He graduates at the University of Michigan, goes to get a job with his uncle Malcolm. Then his uncle Malcolm tells him he's a dragon. Malcolm wants to control Griffin. Girlfriend's like, nah. Then him and his sister, after a little bit of hijinks, run away to New Orleans. And Griffin starts to take over a local gang. It's not really a gang. It's kind of like a mob. It's a very small mob. Like the mob, but not really. It's like a gang. So, Griffin becomes the unexpected leader of a supernatural gang that is in charge of the supernatural activities in New Orleans. And these books specifically take place in the French Quarter of New Orleans. Yes, the French Quarter of New Orleans. They're really interesting books. This one, spoilers. Well, spoilers to a degree, but it doesn't really ruin anything. In this book, Griffin is starting to take over the gang, running poker games, things along that. It's not like high crime stuff, but there's an assassin after him. Not just any assassin, it's a chimera, which are notoriously great at killing dragons. In fact, the order that this chimera belongs to is the Order of St. George, St. George being the man who has slain the dragon. There's actually a very famous picture of St. George slaying the dragon. And it's a pleasant book. It is not like anything Robert Aspirin has done before. It's written in third person. It's funny, but it's not the same type of funny as his other stuff. Like in Myth Adventures, there is a lot of wordplay, a lot of puns, a lot of silly antics. But in this one, it's a more serious urban fantasy. And it's great. Griffin is a really cool character. His friends are really interesting. Valerie has so much potential because you learn that in the series it's the female dragons that tend to be the crazy ones instead of like the male dragons. It's the female dragons that are the kind that would burn down villages. And the second book deals with you meeting one of the crazy female dragons. And she's a hoot, to say the least. She is great. I just read these two books. I just reread these first 2 books. I haven't read the other ones. And I can't remember precisely the plot events of both of them. I know how this one ends, but I'm not sure if the love interest between Valerie is really in this book, or if it's in the second book, or if it's in both. But Valerie, who is a female dragon, of course, has a romance with a male dragon, and in the second book is when you get to meet the sister, and the sister's crazy, and it's awesome. And in the second book, really cool about they have like a magical creature union meeting thing, and it's really cool because you get to meet changelings and vampires and some other stuff, and of course there's somebody out to get them too. I think it's another chimera, and it's just way worth reading. It's really awesome, really great, fun, longer than anything I think Robert Asprin's written before, but worth it. That's going to be it. I'll say goodbye now. And I'll see you guys next time.